Hey guys, welcome to Picksburgh. This is Anthony, and you're joining us for the ECOM and Beyond morning show. So glad everyone could make it today. With me, as always, I have my co-host Nate. Every day I'm hustling, and we have a very special guest with us today. We have Craig, or as it would say, just Craig from Game On Couple.
Yeah, I'm only half the story.
Yeah.
The other half is sleeping in bed right now. So apology if Tommy's in here. He's probably already gone to another live now that he knows that Beck's not here.
He's like false advertising.
Yeah, no girls, no go.
I do want to take a minute just to greet everyone in the chat. Today we got Steven Scroggins, first one in chat with us. So Nate's going to put him down for the first broski point of the month. We got Cajun Roots Reseller. What's going on, Johnny? Good to see you. Pennsylvania Reseller. Thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate the support. Got Philly Road Tech in the house. What's going on? Got Greg, No Money G. Great to see you.
Nice.
Got Tracy, Uniquely Me's in the house. She said she's super excited for this. So
nice. Thanks, Trace.
Got Craig, Lantark Picker in the house. What's going on, Craig?
Another Craig. He must be a legend.
You got Country Picker with us. What's going on, man? BK Vending and Flipping in the house. What's going on, Matt? Good to see you, dude. Reseller Man's in the house. The Glock 30 fan. What's up, Tim? Good to see you. The Eric Bischoff, the king of Amazon FBA. What's going on, Eric? I don't know if you saw Nate's picture. Nate got 12 boxes going out today. He's trying to up his street cred now that he rolls with you, Eric. We got Larry Lafferty, the best mustache in the business.
Porn stash going. Love it.
Got Kelly, the ECOM Mom Ward in the house, the mistress of the roundhouse kick. Tracy said, I need a sleep.
Oh, Trace. I don't want to get a punch in the face.
We'll come back with a shiner.
That would totally be my wife too. She would like straight up like shank me for waking up when she's asleep.
Yeah, that's one rule we have in our house with my wife. Do not call her, message her, wake her in any type of way when she's asleep.
Oh yeah, Beck's the exact same. Like even if she wakes up before me in the morning, like she'll take twice as long to get up, even if she's an hour early. You can't talk until she gets settled. So I would not want to wake her, especially going to work in the morning. Life living hell.
Yeah.
What's up, Simply Dana and Perla? Good to see you guys. Glad you're able to join us. Nate, if you're able to, are you able to drop Craig's link for his channel? I'd really appreciate anybody that isn't subscribed to Game On Couple to go over there and show them some love. Guarantee you'll love their content. There's such untapped potential over there in Australia that like I've been discovering it through Tommy Bernard, all the he's been thrown out there, and there's a heck of a reselling crew over there, and Craig and his wife are definitely a part of that.
Tommy's like our unofficial manager, I think. Over he a lot of people have connections through Tommy or through Two Aussie Thrifters.
Yeah,
and from that network has just exploded, and it's quite a great community of resellers, even between the continents, like North America, like all you guys and Tommy and Tracy and everyone has been really embracive of people across the pond. And same with the UK people. It's crazy. I wouldn't have expected it to be so humbling to get to know everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like how the community is kind of just connecting across the world. That's super cool to see.
Oh, 100%. It's very different dynamics and demographics, and the way that we have to resell in Australia is like completely different to the sources that you guys utilize. Obviously, we use eBay, but Amazon is essentially that tumbleweed that just goes across the room in Australia. Like, Poshmark is non-existent. So, and the supply is very different. I get so envious watching your guys' videos and see some of the things that you put back, and I'm like, oh my God, you have no idea what that would go for in Australia. It's like, oh, this is $1. I'm like, you get $40, $60 for like that little action figure in Australia because we just don't have the supply.
Wow.
I might have to be your wholesale connect for.
I won't say no. I'll never say no to great connections. 100%.
That's awesome. I want to say what's up to Record Crate. Thank you so much for joining us. Two Hip Chicks, what's up, Dawn? Good to see you. We got Jen A in the house, the reselling addicts.
We get envious of how strong
you are. Up, Chris. Good to see you, man.
Oh, love Chris. He's a champion.
He's awesome.
Yeah, yep. He's a really good dude, that guy. Like, he's another one as well. For me here, the last couple of months has just been, you need to see this person, this person, this person, this person. So there's so many people of like in North America, like different channels that are reseller related or collecting related. It's overwhelming, but just to see the dynamics of it and the differences, like I love what you guys do, and Chris as well, especially, like just seem to be super chill. And like love the retro games and the wrestling and all that stuff. So I love all that too.
Yeah, that's like right in my wheelhouse. My favorite things. Tracy said she's envious of how strong your eBay is over there. Yeah. It's definitely like it's playing second fiddle to Amazon over here big time. But there's always some kind of. Do you guys get affected much with a lot of the updates and stuff over there? Or is it pretty like streamlined over there as far as?
I think we did. Like, I really saw a lull. When was it? Like October or November of last year, when they had all those specifics changes that you needed to update, where items that I had, especially things that didn't have UPCs or missing some specific, weren't showing up in searches. And I did everything, the due diligence, and that eBay said, and like, hey, download this program, it will tell you what information's missing. And then come December and January, finding that there was other things missing that they didn't let me know about. So yeah, we did have similar problems, but because eBay and we are obviously a lot smaller, I think we were less affected because we have less competition over here than you guys did over there. It's like, we're a smaller country, but I think proportionally as well, we have probably less resellers that utilize like small business in eBay per capita than what you guys would in America. So proportionally, because we didn't have that competition, we're less affected. But yeah, there were days where I was getting no sales, and most days what we sell is very niche, but like we average about 4 or 5 sales a day. And then we were getting like 1 or 2 a week during that period. And it's just trying to play catch up when you've got, we've got 2 stores. We've got one that's clothing in general, and then one that's like my baby. It's it's video games, it's pop culture, it's all that. So trying to fix both of those as well when you've got like 700 listings, it was pretty brutal.
I can imagine.
But we bounced back.
Yeah, with how strong eBay is over in Australia, that's part of the reason why I do so well with simple export and stuff like that too. So
it's the same here to America as well. I ship so much over your way, so much. Like 25% of my stuff goes international.
Wow.
So it's a big proportion.
That's crazy how that works. Like like is a lot of the stuff that we have, is it like a little bit different, or do you guys get it at first? Like, I'm just trying to really put a finger on why that's maybe happening.
We get like obviously variants of things because a lot of things that go internationally for us is video game related or figure statue related. So like video games, for example, a recent one, there's 2. Luigi's Mansion 3, which launched for the Nintendo Switch in North America. We got something that you guys did not. We got this cool, like, glow-in-the-dark steelbook that you guys never got. Same with Link's Awakening. We got this Game Boy case with an art book and everything like that. So we get some releases, and that even stems back early into the 90s during the Super Nintendo, NES, and Sega Mega Drive Master System era. We got like region-specific releases that you guys never got. And obviously, you guys being a lot larger numbers than us, the availability now of that is a lot lower. So there can be like, let's say 10 collectors who would be after that item in Australia, but there's 1,000 of them that want it in America because it wasn't available to them there. And like, yeah, I can sell something to an American, for an example, a Sega double pack, which was an Australian exclusive release. I could probably get like 600 for it here. I sold one for 1,600 to North America.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, so like it's disproportional, I think, but yeah, we do pretty lucky because of those region-specific releases.
Nice. I want to say what's up to the Thrifting Lounge. What's up, Kevin? If you guys don't, if you're not subscribed to Kevin, I should say, definitely do so. Nate and I will be on his show tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just make sure you guys tune in for that. Good morning, Nana Tink. Great to see you.
Are all these pretty regulars for you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. It'd be good to get to know all these people as well, because going like the different ones is different people. And I've seen like half of these people's names before, but like a lot of them are still new to me. So I'll definitely have to go back and subscribe to all these ones too.
Yeah, I'll definitely introduce you to a few more people as they pop in. Hey, Anthony Bluegrass Picker just jumped in. Typically, we get a whole new crew around 11, like our time. So about a little past the halfway mark, we start getting a lot of people over on the West Coast that are waking up because when it's 10 a.m. here when we start, it's 7 a.m. there. So we start getting a lot of them that are commuting in the morning or, you know, just waking up about halfway through the show.
Okay, interesting.
So, yeah, you'll get to meet some more people from the U.S. as we go on. Bargain Effects in the house. What's up, Tommy? Good to see you, bud.
We got some mad names here. Loving some of the diversity in the names. It's insane. Some of them are super cool. Nana Tink Treasures. That is epic.
Yep. She's from PA, too. Same state as Nate and I.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
PA, where is that?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Okay, cool. Yep. Okay. Those abbreviations I still don't get.
Yeah.
The only one I know is TX because Texas.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, that's cool. Reselling Addicts is having Froggy Flips on tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern. I'll definitely try to give that a watch. Should be good. So, Craig, let me ask you this. For anybody here that isn't familiar with your channel, you just want to like give us a quick rundown of like who you are, who your wife is, what you guys do, and, you know, as much as you feel like sharing.
Sure, that's 100%. It's part of why I'm here, right? So, so essentially, we are gamers, collectors, and resellers. We bonded in our love for video games, and that grew together when she found out I collected, and she started partaking in that with collecting PlayStation. Our collection is pretty much cost us $0 because been doing it for so many years, you buy in bulk, you sell on what you don't want or you don't need, and then you feed that back in the collection. I got to a point where we could no longer sustain that because there was too much money coming in and not enough to buy. So instead, we just like decided to take it to the next level and start reselling. Having the experience with the collectors, we know what people were looking for because we know that we were those people. We know how to gauge quality, completeness, condition, all those things. So I started doing YouTube about 5 years ago on a different channel. But now, after watching everyone in Australia and people in America, and now there's not so much of a bad stigma with resellers, we decided to come out of the closet, so to speak, and launch our channel as reselling, collecting, etc. We could have done it a while ago, but in Australia, if you are a reseller, and I think within the collecting community in America, it's still the same. There's a little bit of a stigma about, that you're taking something out of my hands, so I hate you. But yeah, so over on our channel, what we've got like thrifting videos. I do like unboxings and reviews. Going forward, I'm going to be doing like reseller collector resources where we talk about like completeness, how to gauge condition, what to look for, region-specific releases and what they're worth in other regions of the world, and like having resource videos as well as thrifting videos because they're fun.
Absolutely. I always love watching thrifting videos.
Like having resource videos as well.
And sorry, that's me. I'm being the noob. I was trying to figure out what's going on. Kevin said he tried giving a $20 super chat, and it said it failed, yet on PayPal it says it went through. So I was pulling up the chat over there to see if I see anything.
It's all right. I love the sound of my own voice if you haven't already noticed anyway.
I think most do.
Is your YouTube monetized? Like you set it for monetization for the show?
You know what? I don't know. Let me check. I might not have because I set the show up on my phone last night.
Yeah, if it's not, then that's probably why.
That's just like ticking a box, right?
Yeah.
It's so easy to forget.
You have to do like every before the show, like when you schedule it, you have to click it and all that stuff, and you can only do it on desktop, from what I understand. I think I don't have it, so I don't know, but I think that's what people have told me.
It's so different to Twitch. Twitch, it's just once you're an affiliate, you don't have to do anything. Everything you do, like you can essentially make money from. So
yeah, that's what it was, Kevin. I didn't have monetization turned on in this video. It's on now, so if you wanted to try it again, you can. If not, I totally understand. Completely up to you.
Somebody asked Rebecca, the other half, she's sleeping. Just for reference, it is currently almost 1:30 in the morning here. Rebecca and I both work full-time jobs, and she works in corporate. So she's in a position where she needs sleep because she's works in corporate banking. So yeah, she wanted to be here, but it's just not feasible.
Now, is reselling for you something you think about doing full time, or is it always going to be big on the collection side, big on the the nostalgia, and then as a side hustle as well for you?
I feel originally when I got back into reselling last year, it was because I'm still there. I'm in a job where I don't feel safe, where I'm dealing with drug addicts. I've had knife held to me. I deal with people with domestic violence, with like people trying to escape their spouses and stuff like that. And that's not an industry I'm in. I work in a backpackers, but that's what I'm being subjected to with the way things are changing. And I'm just not enjoying it anymore. So the reselling was an escape from that. I'm at that point now with the support of Rebecca, because she is in a fairly well-paying job, where I could step back from my managerial role and just do a couple of days a week and do more of the reselling. That was always the goal. And then to step out of this job and do something else that I would love to do as the side hustle, and the reselling is the main component. Put that on that's still the intention, but put that on the back burner because we're applying for home loans. And if I change my shifts or quit my job, I won't get approval for a home loan because you go into the high risk category. Whereas like the job I've been in now, I've been in for a couple of years. So if I stay here till we buy a house at the end of the year, then I can be like, are we allowed to swear on this live?
Yeah, let it go, man.
Fuck you, YHA, you piece of shit. And like, just get out of there. So as soon as we get approval, like the reselling is more than enough for me to quit my job and be earning a little bit less, or to reduce my hours and still be earning more. Because what I get paid full time now, I earn that in a week from the eBay as well.
That's
But
awesome.
currently, just to grow, I'm like, well, I'm earning enough in my job. I'm just putting it back in the business and just growing and growing and growing and growing. So.
Yeah, some of the things that you're worried about, like I'm not worried about. I don't have to worry about getting a knife put to my throat or anything. Thank goodness. But just the company itself, they don't value me as much as I value what they do payment wise. Like having stability of knowing, okay, I'm gonna have his income coming in for next 20 years, and just come to this job and deal with all the nonsense and the headache. And for me, like, this was something I was always hoping would go full time from day one. I'm like, I know I can do this. I just have to get it going, get it rolling, and then go. So as things are going, it's definitely getting bigger. And then because you never know what a company's going to do. You know what I mean? They can, something can happen, and next like, you're on the you don't have a job and you don't have that income coming in, and like with me, I have kids and the family, and it would be super tough. So just knowing I have that makes me feel good as a husband and as a breadwinner, because I'm the only income that has comes in at all, to take care of everything. So it's
100%.
I can understand like what you're saying too, like going to work and getting threatened or having your life on the line because of stuff like that is not cool, but it's kind of what happens, And
there's nothing better than the feeling of knowing that you're in control of your own destiny.
Yeah.
Like that. And I think a lot of people want the freedom, and that's why they're of doing reselling as well. You set your own time, but as well, like resellers as a general personality with highly adaptive people, good at reselling because we've been adapting at different jobs throughout our lives, different situations. And that is crucial to being a good reseller, I feel, is the ability to adapt to change, and the ability to be control yourself and self-motivated, and also to take those risks. But I mean, it must be so rewarding for those who do it full time, who get to that level, like, and just to be there. Like in Australia, I don't know if it would be so hard to get there in Australia just because the supply is so low. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I know, like, I think two Aussie thrifters are definitely going to get there with what they're doing. For us. Like, if I'm doing 70% reselling and 30% something I love, even if it's like working in a video game store or something like that, or, just something that you have those two passions. You love turning up every day. That would be ace.
Yeah, because essentially, I mean, working at a video game store, you get to see all the nostalgia and all the stuff that you love. You might even get first pick before stuff comes out, and being able to get stuff like hot releases, which would then be awesome for your reselling end if you can, they allow you to buy, say, 10 or 20 or something. But then they'd be like, hold these until they come out. I'm like, sure, yeah, I will. And then just put them on the market. But yeah, like you said, like that's the hardest thing when you're finding a job or doing anything that you want to do for the rest of your life. Find something you love, not look at the price or what you're making. I mean, that also has something to do with what you're looking for, because you have to have at least a decent income where you're able to take care of things and kind of enjoy some things. You can't just work every day for minimum wage or that low dollar amount and just be struggling every day to make it. But at the end of the day, that happiness is going to make working that shift like you're not even working. And that's what I love about reselling. Like I'll stay up for I'll come home at 10 o'clock at night and catch some lives, and I'm doing work and I'm packing and doing this, and I was like, I don't know how you do it. Like yesterday I was on 2 hours of sleep, and I went to work, and then I came in, and then I had to do some final touches on some Amazon stuff, and that was it. It was done. So it just it's not like work for me. I enjoy it, and there's the ultimate satisfaction of, this is me, this is my business, this is for me, which is amazing.
Yeah, 100%. And that obviously rolls over in other parts of your life as well. If you're happy in your job, you're going to have better interactions with your family, your friends, and everything like that. When you come home from work and you feel crippled and just demoralized, it's the same thing. You want to get to one and not the other.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, there's days I come home or I'll come on the show and I'll talk about my buddy Mr. Burns here and there, and that's what we call my boss, because I don't think I can really say his name on YouTube without getting in trouble. So good old Mr. Burns, and just because that's what he looks like. He looks like Mr. Burns.
Oh God,
that's exactly what it looks like. So
does he have a Smithers as well?
Yes, he does. He definitely does.
Oh my God,
he has a Smithers.
That's insane.
Guys, Nate's his Homer.
If I ever go full time, which I hopefully will, I will get you guys a photo of Mr. Burns, and we'll do a side-by-side comparison. You guys will be like, wow.
Dude, I've been asking for that like in private forever now.
Wow.
You need to do a Homer style prank when you get to that level and you can quit.
You never know. You never know.
You should just start randomly saying "dough" in front of him, like "dough."
Every time he starts yelling at me, I'll be like, "Dough."
I want to point out Victoria's doing a prayer meeting on Wednesday at 9 a.m. for James Callie Picker. This will be while he's in his operation. So anybody that wants to swing by her channel, there's a link for the actual show. So feel free to hit a bell and make sure you come to that. Just show some support. I know it's a tough time for James. So
yeah, that sounds pretty intense. I know I saw something about that in Tommy and Tracy's as well. And hopefully everything goes well.
Let's say good morning to Alex. I don't think we said hi to you yet, man. What's going on? You know, Fat Man.
That guy. I was watching one of his recent videos where he picked up some PlayStation games out where it looked like in the middle of nowhere from like a trailer park or something like that. I don't know. And like there was sealed Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. And I was like, damn, like how and why? And how he's describing it's like, oh yeah, I bought this and I just didn't care or didn't get around to it. I'm like, dude, that's some insane find right there.
Oh yeah,
definitely. What's up to Lisa Siosa Sales? Good to see you. Philly Pickers in the house. What's going on, man? Great to see you. Anybody else I missed while I was looking for that Mr. Burns picture? We got Lynn in the house. Perlini. Good to see you, Lynn. We got DC Sales, the master of the license plate, with us. Good to see you, D.
Hope everyone's having a great Monday morning.
Oh yeah, it's Monday morning for you guys.
Yeah.
Even thinking it's like Back to the Future right now.
That's why like when I was scheduling the StreamYard, I'm like, okay, he's coming on Tuesday. And then you're like, wait a minute. I meant like Tuesday my time. I'm like, oh no. Like we had to swap everything out. I had the StreamYard up for like 20 minutes or something.
Yeah. I freaked out because I was like, oh man, if it's the case, I'm just gonna have to stay with it. But like tomorrow, my time, which would be morning your time, I finish work at 11 p.m. and then I start work at 7 a.m. the next day. Oh, so man. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to need some drugs or something.
We'll make it hook you up with that too. It's your one-stop shop. You can also import that over to you.
No more. I'm retired.
Jody had a question. Best sale of the year so far. That's a hard one. I'll go. So the best sale that I've had is something that I picked up. So last year I was going mad buying figurines and statues, and I was just finding them for dirt cheap. I found this one statue for Mass Effect 3. It's made by like a Japanese artist who does these really anime style looking figures / collectibles. I paid $5 for it, and I think I sold it for $500. So
nice.
And I don't know. It's not the biggest. The biggest I've had is selling like a Spyro the Dragon press kit, which I sold to America for I think 1,200 or something like that, and that was a $10 investment. But I just love selling things that I think are cool.
Yeah, I do too. Like I have so much more fun listing things that I'm interested in.
Oh, 100%. I tried the clothes thing last year for a while on the second store. Like after watching Look My Mum Hustling and Two Aussie Thrifters to know what I should look for in Australia. And it bored me to tears. Like just doing all these measurements of these clothes and like I enjoy flicking through clothes now to look for those miniature, those like must get items. But I was picking up like a lot and a lot and a lot. And I'm like, I'm just not enjoying this anymore. So kind of put that on the back burner and just straight back in. And now it's just reinvigorated me again, doing video games and doing toys and stuff like that.
It's awesome.
Lesson learned.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like pretty much my bread and butter is video games and toys. Those are like my two like main things I love to sell. During the winter, though, I was talking to Nate about this the other day. It seems like in Pennsylvania, we almost kind of need to get more into clothes during the winter time, just because like there's no yard sales or anything like that. No flea markets well, I mean, there are flea markets, but like hardly any good quality during this time of year. But yeah, we almost need to kind of get into some like other categories just to like sustain business throughout the winter time. But yeah, during like the nice time of year, like I'll be out, as much as I can, hitting up all the yard sales and basically hoarding up all the toys and collectibles and video games and all that kind of stuff. And basically just like I'll make a massive death pile and I'll just work through it like all winter long, and it's awesome.
That's a good way to do it. If you can prep, you're a prepper of a reseller, preparing for that period. We get the same here though, but like I'm lucky where I am. If you're like in South Australia or Victoria, like winters they're harsh. They're just rain and stuff. Like winter for me here. Do you guys know Celsius well or not really?
I have an idea.
Okay, so 20 degrees Celsius is our normal temperature where I live during wintertime. So that's, I'm going to just do a conversion. Celsius to...
It's like 70 degrees? No, wait.
Yeah, it's 68, 70 degrees. That's our winter. That's our winter norm right there. So I can go out year long looking for things. If anything, I prefer going out during winter because summer's too it's hot.
I can imagine, man.
Yeah, it's today was 36 degrees, which is I've got this thing open now. About 100 degrees today.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So even right now it's 30 degrees.
You can do it, Nana. She said she hopes today is the day she'll finally get motivated enough to take pictures and do some listings. Get her done. You should just set like a small goal for yourself and just like hammer it out. You'll feel so good.
Set a goal or just put some music on or a YouTube channel that you like listening to that you could just listen. You don't have to watch and just get her done. Just go at it. You know what I mean? That's what I do. Like I'll just, okay, enough's enough. I can't watch anymore. I just got to put it in the background, put something I like on that I can listen to or some music, and then I just start listening, just taking pictures, and you know what I mean. You just gotta put some Rocky on or something.
Do you guys take photos, list, what is your assembly line? Because like everyone's different.
I do mine a little differently. I list primarily from my phone. So like I'll take my photos as I'm listing. So it's just kind of like one streamlined process. I know like Nate is different in the fact that he'll go take photos and then he'll come back and just sit down at the computer and, airdrop them and list that way. But
yeah, like I can do it two other ways. Either I'll take a bunch of pictures and then just, hammer it out, or a lot of times I find it's better for me to go in the eBay app, take the picture, so the picture's there, then I save it, and then I go on the desktop and I finish the rest. I find that's better for me because on the desktop, like since I do international, I do Canada a flat rate, and then I do rest of the world flat rate. if I do it on the phone, I can only do one of those because I don't have any business policies or anything. I just do mine all manual for the most part. So, I go in there and I do that. I put my description. I make sure all the boxes that are checked need to be checked, and then I just list it from the desktop. So with my phone that I have the 11 Max. So instead of having to put it on a camera and then have to put it through the reader and then open up all these folders, I just find it real easy just to have the eBay app open, have it ready to roll, like basically type in the title, have it set up to start listing, take that picture, save it, and then just finish the rest.
Oh, so you'll stick them like right into the app and then you'll just save it as a draft?
Yep.
Okay.
Because I just feel like, instead of having them to do a bunch of screens and load this and stop and do this, like the picture's done, and then when I sit down, I just refresh the page where the drafts are, and then I just finish, and then it's already up, and I'm just rolling. So it's a lot less steps, clicks. That seems to be the least amount for me on this end, doing it that way.
Yeah,
I've never done a listing from a phone.
You don't get enough. You don't get all the different options, especially for me, because I don't do like international flat rate for everybody. I do it for Canada, and then the rest of the world, because that's how my shipping's set up through Pirate Ship Simple Export. So 4 pounds and under, I'm doing all that way. Now if it's something that's heavier than that, I just have to do calculated worldwide or whatever it'll cost at the hands of eBay. God only knows what that will cost people. But and then I keep GSP clicks because I do get some of those, even though I sometimes have international. But I see that sometimes it's someone trying to scam, and they know they can scam eBay, and they do it that way. So I don't know. They'll complain about,
and luckily,
yeah, they'll complain about the condition or something of it. Like I sent a brand new Star Wars TIE Fighter, which was the Kenner version, and it was a newer one. It came out maybe a year ago or something. Like it was a newer one. They just made it look old, like they did like a vintage look to the box and everything. I don't have any more of them, but it had like the old school look to it, like the box, but it was a new release, in other words. So I sent it out, and then they sent me a picture with like a box just had like a little crease in it, because boxes from here to, I don't know where it went, Russia, I think, or something. It went somewhere, and they complained about it, and eBay just paid me, and they paid them, and that was it. And then someone from the same, relatively the same area, I think it might have been the same street, did the same thing, but that went okay. I was surprised. So I don't know.
Wow. Well, at least you got compensated.
Yeah, that is the one thing that is great about GSP. They as long as it hits Kentucky, which is one of our hubs that they send to Kentucky, and then from Kentucky they send it out. You're basically guaranteed payment or whatever. I mean, I've heard a couple issues where something didn't happen or didn't work out, but for the most part, I'd say 98% success rate once it hits Kentucky and they repackage it.
It's awesome.
I wish we had that as an option here. We don't have JSP in Australia, and dealing with international shipping through our only provider, really, which is Australia Post. Yeah, I'd rather get my teeth pulled sometimes and have to go through the hoops you have to jump through with them to be able to send it just to an address within your country, and then for them to take care of it from there and know that you're just paying the shipping to there. Oh man, to have that option would just be so much less stress, I would feel.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like the shipping's a little bit more for the customer, but they get extra protection. We get super extra protection as a seller. So
yeah.
Good morning, Rev. Good to see you, man. Glad you're able to be here today.
A lot of people do it on their phones.
Kelly says sometimes I bring small things to work with me and I list them if I have some free time. That's awesome. That's a great idea. Especially if you have breaks at work where you can sit there and actually list them. That's a great idea.
Just have like a little photography set up in your drawer and pull it out quickly, take a photo, then put it back.
Yep.
Just a little small like photo box. They're like, "What are you doing?" They're thinking like you're playing for like some toys or something, and you're really just taking pictures.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's like Mac Man. I don't know if you know Mac. His YouTube channel is Sleepless Hustler, but he does DoorDash and stuff like that, and he'll actually take photos and list while he's like in his car at like traffic stops and stuff like that.
Okay, jeez.
Yeah, he is. I'm pretty sure he put out a video of like how he does it and everything like that. But yeah, he's like,
that's insanely awesome. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh god.
Dedication. This dude like literally like works 24/7.
That's multitasking to the extreme.
Yep.
I don't think you can. Why not?
Yeah.
Have you seen Mac Man yet this morning, Nate?
I don't think so. He's been hiding.
Man.
So I you know, I know that you love the video games and nostalgia. What is your favorite thing? Now, some people love Mario. That's like their thing. Some people sometimes like will go in a certain direction. So if it is Mario, what's this like a different one that you love that maybe not the masses like?
I am a Sega collector through and through. Anything and everything Sega, I must own it.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. Like in America, you guys had the NES and you had the Master System, and the market share for the Master System versus the NES, Sega got decimated. Like it wasn't even, I think it was something ridiculous like 4% to 11% at one stage of the market share compared to the NES. In Australia, we had a very different scenario. We had a 50-50 split between Nintendo and Sega in both the 8-bit generation of the Master System and the NES and also the 16-bit area. So your 50-50 chance of being one way or the other. I was brought up on Sega, and I was not a very sociable kid. I had trouble socializing and all that. And I loved escaping. I loved escaping the world around me, and I did that through video games. Yeah. So anything Sonic the Hedgehog or anything Sega, I want it. Especially like vintage clothing as well. Like we get none of that here. If there's vintage Sega clothing, I've paid up for things. Like I've bought something from Russia that I paid $200 for just because it was a shirt that I owned when I was a kid of Sega, because I wore everything and all my stuff got stolen. So yeah, so I guess as well that kind of feeds it as well as trying to replace what was lost.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I was a huge Nintendo Sega fanboy growing up. My favorite generation was the Genesis Super Nintendo generation. Like
couldn't agree more.
That's like the creme de la creme of like nostalgia from my childhood.
100%. And it's such an interesting part of video game culture and the industry itself during that time, because it was a huge transition. I mean, the Atari destroyed the industry, almost never recovered. And then you've got two companies, Nintendo and Sega, who both launched their console on the exact same day in August in Japan, who completely changed the game and brought consumer confidence back into video games. And it wasn't like the 16-bit era of the Genesis, or as we call it here, the Mega Drive, and the Super Nintendo, was when publishers and the industry itself like grew exponentially. And man, there was some great games. Your Contras, your Turtle game, Turtles in Time, Hyperstone Heist, Sonic 3, Mario, like all that. They were game changing, and a lot of what we have now in the evolution of the industry is thanks to this rivalry between these two companies of Sega and Nintendo. So the history of it has always just fascinated me, and I research every single item that I have in my store and my collection. I want to know its history about development, production, everything like that. I write blurbs about them. It's just,
that's awesome.
I don't know. It's just fascinating.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I had a Sega. Got it from Santa Claus, and it was something cool because my dad was kind of like me. He's always busy, but he always found time to play Sega with me. So
Nice.
I treasured that time and stuff because he was just starting his business right around that time, and things were really busy. Like he quit his job and jumped into his own business. It wasn't reselling or anything, but it was his own business. So it was right when I was 5, and that's when I got my Sega, and me and him used to play and stuff. So no matter what, I always remember that time because we're always playing Sonic and battling each other, and he was actually pretty good for someone that didn't have any systems really growing up, but Atari later on in life, because he's a little bit older or whatever. So yeah, for me, Sonic, but the Nintendo is always easily top dog. Even though Sonic was awesome, Nintendo was top dog around. Basically, everyone loves Nintendo, like Mario and Zelda. Zelda's another one people go.
Yeah,
crazy.
Zelda's my boy. Yeah, like Zelda's like it's Sega or Zelda. I'm
system.
Nice.
Even though it's not as powerful as the Sega, I'll give you that. The Sega was more powerful.
Actually wrong.
Really?
I gotta call you out. Yeah, marketing. The Super Nintendo had an extra chip called the FX chip, and the sound chip and the color palettes. The color palette on the Sega Genesis Mega Drive was only 56 shades of color. Whereas the Super Nintendo had 256.
Oh, I was talking about the Genesis, though, like the next generation.
So the Genesis versus the Super Nintendo, yeah?
Yeah, because they were both the same generation here in the US.
Yeah, they were here too. We called ours the Mega Drive. So
okay.
Yeah, the Super Nintendo was more powerful. Yeah, like there was an advert. I think you guys had it. Do you know the term blast processing? Have you heard that?
No.
It's how they marketed the Sega to be better than the Nintendo. There was
they did. Like in the US, they marketed it as more powerful than the Super Nintendo.
That was actually a lie. They've done comparisons, and they compared one metric. So you've got like multifaceted metric. Probably across the board, there's about 8. There was one where Sega was better, and you notice it in games like Altered Beast that you don't notice it in, say, Super Mario World. Is you've got more depth of field where you've got something happening in front, then you've got the foreground, then you've got the background and the shadings in between. Mm-hmm. The Sega Genesis Mega Drive was able to have multiple layers, whereas the Super Nintendo, because of the amount of colors they were able to have on screen, was restricted to the 3. So, but yeah, like the Super Nintendo was actually more powerful, hence why it could do things with polygons. If you played Star Fox, no way in hell that would ever run. They tried with Virtual Racer and Virtual Fighter. They put an actual chip in the cartridge to give the Genesis extra power to run these polygons. Only problem is they run at like 5-6 frames per second. So they were like nauseating compared to their arcade counterparts. So
yeah.
But yeah, like Super Nintendo, I had never owned a Super Nintendo growing up. I only got a Super Nintendo when I started collecting. But I had a Nintendo 64 and I love Zelda. I'm 3 away from a complete in-box Zelda collection. And I'm 5 away from a complete in-box 32X Sega collection. So
that's awesome, dude. Do you have like a specific place in your house where you have like everything displayed?
I've got a games room pretty much under us, which is the current games room. I'm not 100% happy with it. I don't have enough room. I have things in cupboards because we have about 2,000 to 2,500 video games.
That's awesome.
So be able to display all that, and not able to do that with our current restrictions. But yeah, we have a room, and I intend on doing a room tour as like probably a subscriber milestone on YouTube, because our collection is one of the larger ones in Australia, and it has some of the rarer pieces as well. Like I have for the 32X an X-Men prototype cartridge for a game that was never released. So things that just you can't get anywhere, I've managed to get my hands on over the years from contacts that I've made throughout the years.
That's awesome. I want to say hi to a few people that popped in since we've been chatting. Georgina Jill, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Got Deldon, the 9-pound hammer, is in the house. What's going on, Deldon? There's one more I wanted to. Oh, ATJH Travels. Thanks so much for being here as well. Pretty sure they're local to Pittsburgh.
Georgina just dropped in as well, I think.
What's up, Shane? Shane M's in the house.
What's up, Shane?
Two hip chicks. Hello, good morning.
That's blowing my mind, the two, because it's like she's too hip.
Yep.
Chick. You're like, oh, I can't get my mind around the grammar. Is it two or is it one and she's too hip?
I think it's both.
Right.
Okay.
There's two of them, but she is too hip for. She's too cool for school.
Nice.
Got Michelle Lathan in the house. What's going on, Michelle? Again, guys, if you're just coming in, do us a solid and go over and subscribe to Craig and Rebecca's channel. We definitely appreciate that. You guys will definitely enjoy the content. I know I do, because I love pretty much all things video games, and that generation that he's in love with is like my favorite time to play video games as a kid. See, I come from a split household, like where my parents got divorced when I was real young. So my mom's house was a Sega house, and my dad's house was a Nintendo house.
Oh man, that's the best of both worlds right there.
Yep, absolutely. I think I became such a Nintendo fanboy because I only really went to my dad's on Sundays. So that was literally the only time I got to play my Nintendo stuff was, and like all week I'd be like, man, I want to go play Nintendo. I want to go play Nintendo. And I'd just be sitting there playing my Sega.
Favorite game?
Favorite game back then was Super Mario World. It's still one of my favorite games, like of all time.
It's a pretty good choice.
Like this has been a while, but like I think it was like 10 years ago, my buddy called me up and was like, "Hey, I got my Nintendo out. Let's play." I'm like, "Seriously?" He goes, "Yeah." So we went over and we gamed and did all types of like challenges where we're like, we try to be who beat the game fastest, who beat this board and this board faster. And then we just did different stuff like that. Who had the most coins?
Oh man.
And like we just did stuff like that. And it was like really awesome just to play again. So yeah, that was definitely one, just regular Mario. And I'm trying to think of the other one I used to play all the time.
Donkey Country?
No, it was a Genesis game.
If you describe it, I can probably name it.
Probably honestly, like my game that I played the most, other than like say Sonic and like the Nintendo like Mario stuff. For Sega, probably one of my favorites was Road Rash.
Oh yeah,
I love that game. I used to steal the club and stuff while people went.
Dude, they came out with like a newer version of Road Rash. Like I don't think it's called Road Rash. What the heck's it called?
It's not. It's like a spiritual successor to it. The people who made this there was originally like 3 guys, and I think one of them did this new project, but they don't own the rights to the game anymore.
Oh,
so I can't remember the name of it either, in all honesty. But yeah, it's supposed to be pretty epic for those that want that road rash kind of feel. Another fun one was called Sketching, which was similar, but you were rollerblading behind cars trying to beat the hell out of everyone around.
I remember that one, yeah.
Yeah, I love that game.
Yeah. What's up, Brandon? Resell King. He has a question. He said, any updates on the meetup? I don't know that there's really been any new updates.
Yeah, I think everything everything's status quo. What we kind of set up for the most part. We just really need people to go to our Facebook group, which I'll throw that in the link real quick in case some people aren't in there. And on the top, you'll see an announcement for the meetup that Anthony set. Just click on it and say if you're going, maybe, or not at all, so we can get a head count. So this way we can get some rooms and different things at a group rate and save everyone some money. So hey, we're resellers. We like saving money, so let's do that.
Yep, and Tommy the Bargain Effect has located the best pricing on hotels as well in the area. So if you're looking for a hotel, just reach out to Tommy, or you can tell me, and I'll tell Tommy to hit you up or whatever. I want to say what's up there. Callie Picker, what's up, James? Good to see you, man. Glad you're here. There is a question for Craig. He said, Chris, yep.
No, and I really wanted that game, and I don't. You guys know who Retro Rescuers are? Yeah. Mitch picked up that game, and I was going to buy it off him. That day, he sold it, and I was like on eBay. And he's like, "Oh man, I'm sorry, I sold it." That's like a great game and one I've always wanted to play. No, unfortunately, I'm yet to play it.
Yeah. I don't know if you've noticed, there's a lot of, and I don't know, you with being a huge collector, you probably haven't ventured too much into this market, but there's a lot of newer games being made where, like, for example, Turtles in Time, like, instead of like paying the huge amount for that cart, now they're having people remake the carts, like the exact same. It's like an emulator cart or something like that. Have you seen any of that on eBay?
I have. We have some of it for some of the Zelda games that are considered homebrew.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's not considered. I was considering doing something similar with homebrews and that, because I've got the knowledge of how to flash these things to cards and stuff. But that there's a little bit of a on eBay, especially like you selling is like a new card of Turtles in Time. You don't own the rights. You don't own. Somebody hasn't purchased that. I think you're putting yourself in jeopardy. I don't know if people in America, how they do it, how they get away with it. I know there's a lot of people in China who sell those things on eBay to us and to you guys, and they can get away with it because of the laws over there. They're not in breach of any contractual agreements or anything like that with eBay. But is that a big thing in America? Because I know it is in Canada.
Wait, they're not under any contracts, but we are. I didn't know that.
I find that most of the stuff like that I've found online normally comes from like China or Japan or whatever like that. Mainly China, because China's like the bootleg capital of the world, pretty much.
Yeah, like they don't have, like here we have Australian consumer laws and copyright acts and everything like that. In China, they don't. So essentially, you can sell anything and everything. Obviously, how copy markets are there. Rebecca and I actually lived in Shanghai for a year, and like I would walk the streets and like you would see these in-box Super Nintendo games for Pocky and Rocky, Turtles in Time, Castlevania, and that looked like new games, but they were fakes. The only way that you can physically do that, I think, in Australia and North America is if they're homebrew games, meaning that it's something that's spiritually in that universe, but it's not something that is owned by that company.
Yeah. There's a lot of like brand new games starting to come out too for Sega. I don't know if you've noticed that, like just
limited run,
homebrewing them and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I bought the 2 latest releases from Limited Run Games because they did a release of Revenge of Monkey Island, I think.
Uh-huh.
And Rebel Assault Star Wars. So yeah, to say the Sega games released in 2020, I'm like, take my money and take my kidney.
Yeah, for sure.
There's good resale and some of that stuff too. Like Limited Run, if you can buy a large quantity of Limited Run games, you can make quite a bit, because when you buy a Limited Run game from the company, you pay up front and you don't get your game for like 3-4 months.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to do that. They want to pay and have it in their hands this week or next week. So part of like our business model is I've got a section that's dedicated to low print run games where that money goes into those, and then I get them 4 months later. I sell them for more, that grows, and then I do the same. So that's actually a segment of our business. Yeah, we rely on these low print run games to increase our income.
Yeah, Nate and I actually hit up limited run games about doing a wholesale contract through them, but they really only deal with like the larger brick and mortars as far as selling wholesale. That would have been sick. You know what I mean? To be able to get like a bunch of games in bulk from them, and then just sit on them for a couple months, and then when everybody wants them, just throw them out there on eBay.
100%. I think they have a contract with Best Buy. I think it's the only one that I know that they have a contract with, because you can buy them in store, and there's also cover variants that you guys can buy that we don't have access to. So, but we have to wait along. And shipping from limited run, if I buy 2 games, I'm looking at about $30.
Yeah.
So it's pretty exy.
Good morning to D Flippin Particles. For those of you that don't know, she has a show that she does every day, Monday through Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. So she's typically on, shortly after we get off every day. So just a quick shout out for D. Brandon's asking, how many of those trash Burger King Xbox games do you find?
I think I need a little bit more information. I don't know what he means contextually. Do you guys know? Can you decipher that for me?
Yeah. So I don't know if you have Burger King over there in Australia. It's like
we do, but it's called Hungry Jack's here.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So essentially, what happened back in the Xbox 360 era, Burger King came out with some Xbox 360 games that were just like totally horrible. They were all themed around like the King character.
Oh my god!
Yeah, here let me share my screen because I just pulled up some clips or some pictures.
I think I need these in my life now.
Yeah, you can find them for like pennies here in America.
Yeah.
So like this was like a cart game, big bump.
No
like
way.
Yeah.
Oh man, that looks so bad.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
You should definitely buy one of those just to have it.
I would stream that on Twitch for shits and gigs. Like that looked insanely bad.
You go viral in the gaming community if you probably played that. People are like,
what? Didn't even know that was a thing. Man, that's insane.
Yep.
I mean, I remember the McDonald's games on the Genesis and Super Nintendo, like Global Gladiators and Treasure Island starring Ronald McDonald. But man, Burger King took it to the next level.
Looks like this is $11.95 on eBay right now for this right here. So there's a lot of
seriously, that King on the cover looks like he's been smoking way too much crack.
Absolutely.
You should click on a video and watch some of the gameplay real quick. Just a quick we'll all have a good laugh.
There we go.
I wonder who they got to develop it. That's insane.
Nope.
Oh man, that King. Jesus. So is that the mascot for Burger King? Is that right there?
Yeah.
I would have thought it would have been like a walking burger with a crown on. But apparently not. Ooh.
Say to me, hey, why is your favorite video game maker? And to that I say, Burger King. I know a lot of your favorites might be Rockstar or maybe Valve or something like that.
Can you hear that good enough, or do you need me to make it up?
No, it's fine.
Terrifying. Jesus Christ, he's coming for me. Jesus, I feel in danger. I didn't realize this was hard.
Oh my god!
I don't like this already.
Not dead from that.
Look at that.
You got Sneak King.
It looks like he's going down on him.
The classic
Dude.
bike racer. Apparently they were like $2.99. You could get them in Burger Kings in America. But yeah, I had to go through a
This
lot.
guy's like Norwegian or Swedish.
Couldn't find them anywhere. Had to buy them on Amazon. 50 quid. They cost me 50 quid. And then I
English.
Is that a bowl that we just found?
There you go.
and I forgot the Xbox.
Yeah, sell them internationally.
So it's
100%.
I'm gonna get some garage sales, Brandon.
Spend a load of money getting
Completionist.
shipping it to Ireland. And then
Yeah, if you put like North American only release in the title,
box it now.
you know what, people international wanting to buy this crap.
Yeah, he's giving out Onion Ring.
Oh my god! It's like he's trying to lure him into a van.
He was like trying to he was selling drugs or something on the street.
God, this guy.
South Dakota.
Damn.
I got these cheeseburgers, man.
Was that a cheeseburger Eddie reference?
No one else is scared.
Yeah.
What's up? This multiplayer where you learn.
Dude, I can't believe this. I can't believe this is a thing. Oh man, he's.
I've never played this game either.
I used to have the big bumping ones back in the day.
Look how he's running. It looks like he's like tiptoeing around.
Yeah,
That floor is lava.
he's sneaking, Nate.
Floor is lava.
Sneaking.
Alright, they lost.
He's trying to sneak up on all the kids to take him into the van. I think this guy's creepy. No, there's something wrong with this game.
It's like pedophile alert.
Oh, 100%. There should be an Amber Alert out on this game.
This is secretly the Neverland Ranch.
Oh,
He's walking around. Look like he's trying to rob somebody.
The hell, they just fucking died. This is what happened.
The rupee kicked him.
Feed him some burgers. Feed him some burgers.
oh my god.
You see if any of the other games are on here.
Hey, man.
Right.
Successful.
Thank you so much, Risa.
here we go. Big
Oh
bumpers.
my god, I want this in my life now.
Jake Heavy. You know, Chris.
Whoever has these games, put them
This
up
is the
on.
one I had.
You didn't
Big
like
bumping.
burgers. Oh my god, she's denying her own goals now. She fucking hates me.
This game looks like it would be fun to play, though.
Yeah, this is like Rocket League before
Yeah,
Rocket.
poor man's a Rocket League.
She would quit her job immediately. Oh, I think she has. She just stopped down there. Oh my god, she stole my goal. Look at her clapping away. Oh,
She's supposed to be like a Burger King employee or something.
I have no idea.
Yes.
I mean, the gameplay looked great until they did like the guys doing the what's it called, like the expressions in the car.
We
They
see-
did better with that. But other than that, it didn't look too bad.
Oh no. Oh my
How
god.
did I play this game?
Just find at least 3 of them.
Who approved this? Who thought this was a good idea?
I'm getting too confused.
Seriously.
no idea, man.
They said that they
Oh.
sold these for like $2.99 in like Burger King or something. From what that guy said. I don't know if that's true or not, but
Oh,
Tracy said she just had to pull over from driving just to watch that.
That's awesome.
oh. Wow. Okay. That's an interesting piece of video game history right there.
For sure.
Oh my god.
That made my morning.
Good to see
Thanks,
you.
Brandon.
Glad you're able to come.
Oh, wow.
That video game just got some instant sales just now. I hear cha-chings all over the place.
Oh, 100%. You guys are like
Daddy.
jacked up the price of that game now by 100%.
Brittany's brands is in the house. She's got them brands, y'all.
If you got that game, put ECOM and Beyond next to in the title, and it'll sell pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. As seen on.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what are some other terrible games you guys know of?
Ooh, so many. In what metric? As in broken or as in just
Any.
bad?
Any?
Broken games is a lot of. There were some games on Super Nintendo that you couldn't physically finish. They designed it so that you couldn't finish because they didn't have time to finish the game. One was Dennis the Menace. So literally, you cannot physically finish that game. There's a gap at the end where you have to jump, and you physically can't make it. You just die, and that's the end of the game because the developers didn't finish the game. Modern, do you guys like Batman Arkham series, like Batman Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, and all that? The PC one was broken mess where you would fall through the map.
Oh wow!
Like it was absolutely shambles where they had to refund everybody. Probably the worst game I think of modern is actually Anthem. If anyone knows that game, I would not wipe my butt with that piece of crap. It is. Oh, I had no faith in EA. What about you guys? Bad game. I like bad games, by the way.
Yeah, some bad games I like too.
I don't really think of anything.
I mean, just as far as like brokenness, like I would definitely say the new WWE 2K games. Those have been like complete trash.
I've seen screenshots of those. Oh my god! Like, yeah, how? Why?
One really bad game that I used to like really like back in the day was the original Shaq Fu.
Oh man, that
such a
was
Shaq fanboy.
trash. Yeah, that was.
Buy that the other day. They had him for $5.
They came out with a new Shaq Fu too.
Yeah,
yeah, they did.
On the new one.
And
it was like
still bad.
Yeah, I don't know
bad.
why they would do that again. I don't know.
My favorite worst game of all time is probably Beavis and Butthead on the Genesis.
I love that game.
Yeah, so broken but so good.
They like walk around like burping and farting on people.
Yeah, like they inbuilt codes into it, so if you wanted to go back, you could take on your progress. But what they forgot to do is they forgot to add a letter for items. So when you put in these codes, every item you had got up to that point, you had lost. So you had to go back and re-get every item again. Like just broken, but man, Beavis and Butthead, just legends.
Yep. Another one that was kind of in that same vein was I don't know if you've ever played Wayne's World for the Super Nintendo.
No, I haven't. Is it similar?
Yeah, I mean it was pretty much just like a Beavis and Butthead style game. Very similar.
I could see that. I could see that model working for that universe as well.
Yep. Yeah,
I've played very few Super Nintendo games. Most of the games I've had exposure to for Super Nintendo, I think are more so for the classic systems that they released lately. Kinect Star Wars. Oh my god, yes. Oh, how could I forget about that? Oh, have you guys seen the Kinect Star Wars?
I haven't played much.
Okay.
If it's truly bad enough.
It is insanely bad. Literally, like you think it's going to be amazing, a Star Wars game. There's a sequence where Han Solo's dancing, doing all this, and you've got to track the moves, and C-3PO's dancing, and it's just, it's just bad.
Let me see if I can look that up.
Yeah, it's, in all honesty, like that put the nail in the coffin for the Kinect. I actually have that. That actually, the one good thing that did come out of that is the R2-D2 Xbox 360 console, though. That thing is the best console of the 360 generation.
Yeah, definitely.
What's the rarest find that you guys have had for video games out in the wild?
I came across last summer. It was funny because we weren't even planning to go. There was a community sale, and it was on a Friday evening. And the only reason we really went is because it was like a Friday evening, and like we never really see those. But somebody had an entire dresser drawer full of old, I don't really want to say old, but GameCube games, and literally it was like every GameCube game that's like expensive, and dude sold them to me for like $2 a piece.
Really? So you got like Fire Emblem, the Pokemon Sapphire, cardboard box, dude. That's
This was like a major collector back in the day. He had all of the GameCube and the Wii games, and I literally just bought up all of the first party stuff.
That's insane. Do you actively, because I find that when I'm looking for video games, I am looking for things that have not had a re-release. That's the go-to. So GameCube games always pick up because I don't think there'll ever be a classic console, and 90% of them have not had re-releases. So if there's a game like Sonic 3 as well, if you compare the prices, the buy it now prices, like sold listings for 1, 2, and 3. 3 is ridiculous. Yeah, this is it. Like, how bad is that?
What in the world?
Jedi dodge.
Jedi dodge.
Like, Lucasfilms must have approved this.
Not a scratch. Not a scratch.
3 CPO.
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
Vader can't move that fast. Oh my god. They're literally just like
That just looks
doing the doggy pound.
That is terrible.
Oh, it's so horrible.
I'm watching it. What is wrong with me?
Turn it off. No.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, how these games get through.
Look at this dude in the background over there, like behind R2 and C3PO. He's like getting it back there.
Oh, those 2 random stormtroopers. Yeah. And I think there's like, you can see Emperor Palpatine.
Like fist pumping back there.
Yeah, that's Emperor Palpatine. Just like, yeah.
That is amazing.
So bad. But so good at the same time.
Man. Yeah, I used to have Kinect, but I never had this.
Oh, it's you find it like cheap. You can find that game for like $2. You find most Kinect games for $2.
Yeah,
because they were just trash.
There's over 1 million views on that. That's insane.
Yeah, because it's so bad.
Yeah.
I think it's a good niche to have though. Like if you can have things that are bad, like people just drawn to that. I mean, it's like that. What is it? That Gundam style. Like everyone loves that, but I think part of it is the love because of some of the moves in that are just so bad.
Michelle says the Han Solo is great, or I'm Han Solo is great from that game. And Michelle says Palpatine comes in later and shows him how to do it right.
Giggity.
Yeah, I've never seen that game, but I wasn't really big in the video games for a long stretch for a while, so I need to get a system and start playing some games again.
One must play BioShock.
Bro. Remember, I just sold you one of the Segas I refurbished. One of the
yeah. No, I have that. I'm talking about like one of the newer.
Oh, gotcha.
Get really back in the full-fledged like gaming again.
Play BioShock if you haven't already. Do yourself a favor.
Jane.
Yeah, it's based off like a 50s book, and man, the world is just. That is probably my favorite game of the last generation, and it's there's a re-release for the PS4 and Xbox One, which has been up-resed.
You see, he's in the chat, Nate. I think that's pretty cool that like we've got like channel memes now, and like somebody even created an account for it. Got the whole Vendu crew going on and the whole Mr. Burns thing.
What's up, Aaron Marcus?
I told Nate I want to get a T-shirt made, right, with Mr. Burns like this, and behind him will be like a brick wall that'll have like graffitied on it, hashtag Vendu Crew and ECOM and beyond. I think that'd be so cool.
That'd be cool. That'd be fairly easy
like
to
a
do as well.
Style shirt.
Oh, 100%. Find a company that does the big tags on the back as well. Make it look legit.
Yeah. We'll have to get into that.
Got Aaron Marcus in the house. We got Amy, Hot Mess Drifter. We got Swamp Picker. What's up, Glenn? Got Misha Renee. All kinds of cool people popping in chat. Appreciate you guys being here. If you guys haven't yet, subscribe to Craig. Please go and show him some love, guys. His channel is Game On Couple.
I'm only one half. The better half is not here.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, you can leave me at home just as long as Beck's on screen. But
So here's the link to their channel, guys. Like I said, if you haven't already, please go over there and show them some love. I'd appreciate it.
Thank you guys. You guys are legends. I really appreciate this, your time. And
not a problem, man. We appreciate you coming on. It's
fine. I'm still hanging in there. I'm good. I've got some some drugs in my coffee, I'm good.
Yeah, I always am real appreciative when somebody from Australia comes on the show because it's always super late over there whenever we go live.
I didn't even realize. I was like, oh, yeah, man, no worries. And I'm like, maybe I should have a look what time. And I was like, whoa. And I was like, so I'm like, because I was subbed to Every Day I'm Hustling and only recently to you, Picksburgh. Apologies. But
I
like,
have a cool beard like Nate, so it's okay. It's understandable.
I'd never seen any of the lives. I'm like, why haven't I seen any lives? And I'm like, oh, that's why I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
So time zone's killer.
Yeah, it makes it hard.
So we'll only keep you a few more minutes. Is there anything coming up on your channel that you'd like to share with everybody?
Well, those that are interested in learning about what are video games, how they work, and how to sell them, how to repair them. When you're a reseller of video games, it's a lot different to buying a piece of clothing. A piece of clothing you can look at, you can see its faults. When you buy a video game or a system, you can't do that. You need to be able to test it. And if things aren't working, you need to know how to diagnose it to work out what the problem is. For example, a Game Boy game not saving, how to change the battery in a Game Boy. What I'll be doing is I'll be uploading resources from my experience on how to gauge how you should list a game by its comparing it to sold listings based off its completeness and also the not quality, sorry, I'm lagging here. The condition, but also what to do with these items when they're not working and how to ship these items safely. And if you're interested in buying components for them, like third party, what are the best ones to buy? And if you want to sell it with an attachment, what are attachments you can sell it with that will work on HDTVs, as well as just divulging into the collecting side of things as well, because as resellers, you need to know what collectors want, what collectors look for, because if you're in the video game market or in the pop culture market, they're your main market right there. So just giving like a little bit of my insight into my experience and how that relates to the reseller world, and hopefully that information helps you, as well as thrifting videos and just random life shenanigans as well. So I think we're more of a lifestyle channel than a reselling channel because it's about gaming, collecting, and reselling and our lives. So if you're interested in a little bit of a diverse content, you can look at our channel. But if you're also looking for specifics, I bracket things so that that there are resources there for people to use. That's the plan going forward, aiming to upload a video once every second week. Wish could do every week, but life gets in the way. So that's the only way sustainably you can physically do it. So, and always interested if anyone has any questions, ideas, they can hit us up on Instagram as Game On Couple. And if you've got any ideas for videos, we'll credit you. I'm always interested to find out what information people want to know, because what I take for granted may be an invaluable resource for you all.
For sure.
Mr. Burns.
What's it say on there?
Oh, it's already done.
Oh, hashtag Vendu Crew on there.
Nice. I just love his menacing nose and the three like little pocks on his head. It just makes the character. Vendu Crew. Now you just need some like some gangster music playing.
Yep. For those of you who came to see the sign, hashtag Vendu Crew.
Shout out to Siosa for that. That was awesome.
Yeah, I was thinking more in the vein of like graffiti behind him, but that was pretty awesome too.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Because he is probably the secret leader of the Vendu Crew.
Well, that's done in like 5 minutes. So imagine what the person who did that can do with time, right?
Vendu Crew is crazy, man. He always comes through with like some obscure like song reference. See you on the forklift, big boy.
Oh god.
Nate, Mr. Burns on the forklift like Titanic, all like, you know.
Yeah. There you are.
Mr. Burns steps on my forks, I'll send him to the moon. I'll put them on the highest rack in the freezer.
Feel free to anybody in the chat. Feel free to drop whatever links or promote whatever you're doing. That's perfectly fine. I don't mind that stuff.
Guys, we're going to be on Thrift Lounge's channel tonight at 10 o'clock. And I dropped the link a few times in the chat, and also one time on mistake, but I'm going to drop it in again. Right here is the link to go to watch us tonight on Thrift Lounge. And also, we're going to be on the Canadian Resellers Roundtable on Tuesday night. And This is the second link here. That is that link. So tonight we'll be on Thrift Lounge. Tomorrow we'll be on the Canadian Resellers Roundtable. So we're getting around, ladies and gentlemen. We're going global. We're going to Canada, and we'll be in the good old USA today with Thrift Lounge. So
you guys are busy.
Yeah, we are busy. This usually we have things pop up here and there, but not so much all at one time. But so that's cool. I mean, I enjoy doing the lives, and especially the hardest thing is just getting around my schedule too, because like I work a 1 p.m. to like I get home around like 10 o'clock if I time it perfectly right. So it's hard to like line up with channels and do stuff with different people because of that sometimes, unless it's a Thursday or Saturday, because that's my days off. So I'm pretty happy to still be able to do those lives, and my buddy with me, Anthony. So we always have fun.
Definitely.
And stuff. So I'm excited to do those tonight and tomorrow.
It's good you guys do it, and it's good that the community, like you guys embrace the community and they embrace you, and you guys appear on each other's content like this. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Me and Nate are almost like joined on the hip now. We're kind of like Tommy and Tracy in that sense.
Yeah.
Only Nate has a much more beautiful beard.
Yeah.
We got Harlan in the house. What's up, buddy?
And I don't think you guys drink as much wine as Tracy does.
No.
Yeah, I haven't.
Speaking of Nate's beard, this show has been brought to you guys by Lion Tamer. Yeah, I love Nate's beard. I have so many Nate memes on my computer. Like, here's one of him, like, ah. Here's another one of them with the vape smoke.
I wish I could grow such a majestic beard. I'm so patchy.
I literally had to trim mine yesterday because it was like literally becoming like a pube fest. It was awful.
I've always a bum fluff face.
I've always had mine like kind of how you guys have it, like low, and then one day like I got hurt at work and I was on workman's comp, and that's when I stumbled into reselling, and then I just started growing a beard because I was stuck on the couch for 3 months. I'm like, hey, this is kind of cool, and I never grew real long, so I just kept going and going and going. So this is from like June of 18. I started growing it out. I just kind of trim it every once in a while, like just kind of give it some shape, which it probably needs a little trim up now. So yeah, I like it. My wife sometimes doesn't like it, but hey.
It would be really cool if you can somehow make it into a reverse afro where it just be like pumped out all around your face.
I don't know if I could do that. I mean, like
have a comb sticking out of it.
Yeah.
I could definitely put like a comb or whatever. I can put pens. I can do all types of stuff. It's sort of like nappy.
When we did our Christmas,
I guess
he came on with like lights in his beard, like a Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, I remember that. You can have like a Swiss Army knife beard.
Yeah, if I need to hold something real quick when I'm doing something, instead of here, hon, hold this. I just
and the beard.
Carry on.
Yep. And sometimes you'll see his lunch and dinner in there.
Yeah. Saving it for later.
Right. If I'm eating something real good, I'm like, you know what? This is awesome. Put a little bit right here.
Yeah. Just make like a little nest in there, and just like when you're at work, you can hide snacks in there, and your boss wouldn't notice.
Right.
What's up, Justin Jacobs? He and I are going to be doing an auction sometime soon. We're going to be partnering up on that. we'll get you guys a date like ASAP as soon as we determine when it is.
You guys do like YouTube auctions, or is it like a website auction?
We do it on YouTube.
Okay.
I don't do it very often. Like I do it like maybe once every couple of months. Most of the time, if I do an auction, I'll go on with like T Auctions for You or Derek NASCAR Man or somebody like that. I'll go on someone else's auction, but every once in a while, like somebody will hit me up and say, "Hey, do you want to do an auction?" And I'll partner. Like I'm partnering with Justin.
So is it like bulk lots, like reseller lots? Or is it, okay.
Mine's actually, it's going to be pretty awesome. Like in one of my videos, I think it might have been Saturday, I shared some of them. I just refurbished a bunch of video game systems. Like I have a Sega Genesis, believe it or not, that is up for auction. Comes with a copy of Aladdin.
Model 1 or Model 2?
This is a Model 2 that I'm putting up, but I also have Model 1s as well. I just need to finish getting the parts for them. I've fixed them. That's a nice thing about my systems is I get them to the point where like I won't even sell them if they don't fire up on the first time every time. So I get them to the point where I open them up, I clean them out real good. If I need to replace pins or something, I do that. Seems like Genesis is like the easiest thing for me to fix, though. I've done so many Sega Genesis over this winter. It's been insane. I got a PS2 ready to go. I have an original Xbox ready to go. What else do I have? I have a couple Wii's ready to go. But yeah, I just got a bug up my butt in the past couple of weeks to really start working on some of the systems that I've had just sitting there that I've been putting off because I had easier things to list. So I got like a minimum of 5 video game systems I'm going to be putting in there. I have another lot of Wii games. I have comic books. I have a plush lot. I have a Funko Pop lot. All kinds of stuff. I have like a lot of movie theater Mylars, like all kinds of stuff that I'm putting together.
I feel you with the not getting around the consoles. I said on 2 Aussie Thrifters live I was on that I had 42 Master Systems. I did a recount. I have 63 Master Systems.
Wow, that's awesome.
So yeah, I just like just put them away, and I'm like, they're not there, but like I really should like just fix them up, get them out the door. You don't need that many, but it's so easy just to put them. And like with consoles as well, it's like, where's this cable? Where's that controller? Yeah. Where's this AV? Where's that power? So yeah, but consoles are great to sell. Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, they even sell well for parts. Like I just recently, speaking to Justin Jacobs, bought a couple Super Nintendos, 64, and the Xbox I'm going to be auctioning off. I got from him too. That was the one system that was pretty easy to get working. I just had to make sure I had all the parts and everything for it. But the other two, like they just needed a lot of work. The other 3. So I just sold them for parts, and the parts alone, like basically gave me a little bit of a profit on what I paid for them. That's good. And now I have like a whole system that's, ready to go out there, and it'll be straight gravy. Yeah, Nintendo 64 is the biggest pain in the ass, and NESs I can't stand. I don't even touch NES consoles anymore. I bought a ton of, not a ton, but I bought a few NES off of Thrift Mind when they had that big video game score. And like, oh my God, man, like I spent so much time trying to get the things to work. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. It'll be cheaper just for me to sell them as parts. And ended up, pretty much cleaning up just in parts. If you buy NES, you're pretty much guaranteed that the 72 pin connectors are done, and also that the lockout chip has failed. So, I won't even buy them for $10 anymore. It's just not worth the work. I might, Dawn. I'll have to check. I sell a lot of stuff individually too, so I'll definitely have to check. I'm pretty sure I probably have the PS1 wires somewhere. PS3 controllers, I don't know if I have any left. I did a PS3 locally just a couple weeks ago, so I'm not sure if I put the controllers with that or not. Do you guys look for backwards compatible PS3s and that? Do you guys sell them for a higher dollar in America? Yeah, they are worth more here. Yeah, same here. It's like worth like 4 times the amount of like a regular console. It's ridiculous. And they sell them in like cash converters here, which is like a pawn store for $30. So good.
Yeah. Well, anything else that either one of you guys would like to say before we shut down?
I'll go. Just once again, want to thank you both for having me on and having me on without my partner not being here, because apparently I'm not allowed on Tommy's without her. And just like how supportive you guys are for the community and that, and getting the amazing deal off this guy for those NECA turtles. Like, you guys are awesome, and I really appreciate what you do, and you guys are a good resource for everyone, and I hope you guys are proud of what you're doing.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we really do enjoy doing these lives and being in the community. I mean, it's it's like an extension, not just viewers, it's friends, it's people that we talk to on a daily basis now, or network with, or like we're going on Thrift Lounge, and Cliff and Jody and Chris's Canadian reseller roundtable on Tuesday as well. Like that, it's just awesome to be able to collab and do stuff with other people, because it's helping us all grow and have some great content and some different opinions and different perspectives of things, and it's always fun to do these. And I'm glad that you got to come over, so we can show our viewers somebody that maybe that they haven't checked out, because I know I like watching your videos just because it's different than our reselling videos, because you have a whole different system, so it's just a lot different. So and then you like the video games, that's easily for me to enjoy. So I'm sure there's a lot of people in the chat that will also love watching those as well. So make sure to check out Game On Couple. If you aren't subscribed, I'll throw the link in there one more time. And we'll be on Thrift Lounges tonight at 10 Eastern. And we'll be on the Canadian Reseller Roundtable at
9:30.
9:30.
Yep. I definitely appreciate you guys coming out. Perlini did ask what we think of the Nintendo Switch. I love it. It's my favorite system I have out of the 3 current gens, but that's only because I'm a Nintendo fanboy. So one thing I really like is when I'm laying in bed with my wife and she's watching some god awful TV show that I could care less about, I can reach over, grab my Switch, and I could just game and still have that quality time with her at the same time. So that's
Switch is the most inclusive console. It's got something for everyone. It's fantastic. And after the abomination that was the Wii U, Nintendo needed to pull something great out, and they did. So props to Nintendo. And anyone who is a reseller or a collector, Nintendo Switch is a great product and a great system to resell for, because it's gangbusters. It's sold more than the Xbox One in its 2 years that Xbox One's been out for 10. So be on the lookout for anything Switch for cheap. It's insane how quick that stuff goes. Yeah,
it definitely sells quick.
Thank you so much, guys, again for having me on.
Thank you, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Thanks for staying up and coming in. We had to schedule this a little longer in advance, but it was well worth it. I really enjoyed having you on and talking about all the different things we did.
If you ever want to come back on, or you want to come back on with your wife, just let us know, man. We're very flexible as far as scheduling and everything like that goes. So
I think we can make an arrangement.
And then if there's anything we can do to help you with your channel or anything that you're doing, just let us know.
Thanks, guys. You're seriously legends. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. Again, guys, make sure you check us out tonight on Kevin's channel, the Thrifting Lounge. And tomorrow morning, we'll be back on Nate's channel, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Appreciate everyone for being here today, and we hope you guys have a great day.